YouTube. Hello, how's it going? I tried to make this video yesterday and it didn't quite work. Um, I've got a client in 15 minutes. I don't always like that word. Sounds a little bit too formal and too businessy for the work that I do. Um, but yeah, the video that I made yesterday was touching on really embracing everything that has ever made you you. And because I don't know, it's one of those things. I think that life gives you conditions and programs and experiences and memories, and all of those things help to push you into a direction, essentially, that is perhaps helping to facilitate you becoming what it is that the piece of you that is God wants to be. And so I think that there's often some demonization of trauma and demonization of pain. And in general, in the spiritual community, that we have to eradicate pain out of our existence. People are constantly wanting to feel good, which is why when people talk about high vibes only, um, or trying to achieve this state of enlightenment or nirvana, it's often because people are searching and seeking for a way to feel good. Now, feeling good is great, but I actually think that part of the human condition and experience is to experience the totality of this thing that is God in some way. Now, God is experiencing itself collectively through, all of us, but we need the aspects of God that are also not, they don't always feel good. Now, being in alignment or being in the flow, often when people talk about those things, they're talking about feeling good. Sometimes pain brings the biggest blessings, the biggest gifts. I definitely know for me and my life, um, you know, um, experiencing God came from great heaviness and darkness. I made a video the other day about the devil card in the tarot and how that is from God too. I was also talking about Amy Winehouse and how there was a lot of tragedy and pain and addiction. But the the perhaps there was an intelligent design and divine perfection in her tragic life, because the amount of people that she touched with her music was insane. So often when uh, we think of sound healers, we think of somebody that's, maybe sitting with 10 people, 11 people, and is helping to shift them and helping to heal them. We don't think of people like Amy Winehouse, who impacted millions of people. So there was such tragic beauty and godliness in her pain and her darkness. Now, once again, it's that thing. We don't know how somebody's individualistic experience is impacting the world collectively. It's like the butterfly effect. One single flap from a butterfly's wing can cause a hurricane on the other side of the world. Now, who knows if that is the truth? People say it all the time, so perhaps it's not. Perhaps it is. But I don't actually know if that is actually true. But what I do know is that we are also interconnected, and one tiny little thing, one smile that you give to somebody else can change their whole day and can then ripple through everybody that they meet. That's how interconnected we are. So we don't know the ramifications of pain, we don't know the ramifications of darkness, yet I believe that there's a godliness in all of those things. And so, to go back to that, I don't think we should eradicate those things. And I don't. I saw a post the other day that said, if you erased all of the mistakes in your life, then you would cease to exist. And I think that there is perfection, and we're not necessarily going the wrong way or making mistakes, because actually the things that don't feel good are helping us to perhaps refine who we are once again for this thing that is God, to be that instrument and a vessel for it. Now, everybody is doing that. That's the cosmic joke. But I think it's very important not to decompartmentalize ourselves in spirituality and push pieces of ourselves away. I think we should, perhaps integrate them, and then they can become the things that are our greatest strengths. So, on that note, that's all I'm going to say. I hope that's made some sort of sense. The video was, I think, in the right space to come forward now, which it always is. So I will say it as I often say: all is good, all is God, all is love. Even if it doesn't seem that way or look that way, we don't understand always the mechanics of this thing that is God, but it doesn't mean that it's not working. So until next time we meet, connect again soon in a bit.